Fine Ninja, and hello everyone! Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. That could have not worked out any better whatsoever. Well, it'd be the only time it ever works. And I'm here to do a stream. It is going to be my 264th Platinum. I did Platinum the Adventure Time game earlier today. And this game is called A Winter's Daydream. Now, I've talked about this in a few of the chat parties, and maybe on another stream I may have. But, yeah, this Platinum only takes you about 15 to 20 minutes. And all you have to do is read a story. So that's what I'm going to do for you today, because this has no voice acting. I'm going to get to read for you wonderful people. I know Fine Ninja's like, oh, at least he's not singing. That's a positive there. So let's get this started. I have no idea what the game's about, so... let's see how this goes. And Fine Ninja, how's your day going today?
I'm alive. That's the way to put it.
Could be worse. Could be a Cincinnati Bengals fan. December 28th, Thursday. For you, it was the greatest moment of your life, but for me, it was a Tuesday. I love that movie. And I know you're playing Tokyo Ghoul.
Of course I am.
By the way, I'd like to point out, because I didn't get to say, I said it on Facebook and Twitter and people thought I was joking. There was a Garfield video game on PlayStation 4. So you have Super Monkey Ball and Garfield, and you had Medieval come back. All I'm missing now is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we're good. It's only the 28th of December, but snow is falling outside the train windows. There wasn't any snow back in Tokyo, though the air was crisp and chilly, cold enough to make you bury your hands a little deeper into your pockets.
And get murdered by a ghoul.
It didn't snow. It's different. If you travel a little further north, though, it gets colder here much, much earlier. Everything is cold in the northern countryside, everything except people's hearts, as my dad likes saying. My dad can be pretty cheesy at times, but he might have a point. I've been living in Tokyo since spring this year. In the beginning, I was excited to get away from the dull countryside I was raised in. But, well, you know what they say, the grass is always greener on the other side, and people are never satisfied. Unless, of course, you play... unless, of course, you live in Boston because you always want a freaking championship. When I left home, I soon discovered just how different the city was from everything I used to know. I lived in the countryside all my life, in a small town, with a population of around 15,000 people. I wonder how many of them were demons or ghouls.
I'm a ghoul.
Yeah, we know. Well, I'm the mixture of the two, but that's for when we eventually can even stream Tokyo Ghoul, since I know you can't stream the story mode for that game, unfortunately.
The way we play the campaign is not like it's the same.
The campaign is what I mean. The multiplayer part, I don't count that as part of story mode. Kind of like My Hero Academia, you know, that there was mission mode, which you can stream, but you can't stream story mode for some reason. I take it for granted that I knew the names of my neighbors, and they knew mine. I thought it was normal that our family cat, Tamron, would sometimes stay with elderly Mr. I can't pronounce that, so I'm just going to try to pronounce it the best I can. Mr. Linguini? For days on end, because he fed our pickle feline better cuts of meat than we did. It was only to be expected that the clerk at the nearby grocery store would give me a few extra sweet potatoes whenever I stopped by, because he knew my younger sister, Okachio, was fond of them. My hometown was much colder than Tokyo during the winter months, and I still remember scenes from my childhood with the snow piled up on the roads and fields 4 or 5 inches thick. And then I would slip and tear my ACL or my meniscus. Oh wait, that's me. Old roofs would stain beneath the burden of snowfall, and my father would spend his days off work shoveling snow for elderly neighbors, while I sat inside like a lazy fuck. No matter how frigid the weather became in my small town, the people would always band together to help one another. Spearheaded by gun-ho, intellectual, optimistic men like my father, aka nothing like it is in the real world. In my old man's words, the hearts of the people were warm, even if their hands were cold. Unless you live in Detroit. Tokyo, meanwhile, is completely different. In Tokyo, the streets are busy, and the buildings are big, and the people... It's hard for me to describe them. That's because there are far too many of them. Some of them are demons, some of them are ghouls, some of them used to be ex-mafia members who are detectives. Now... Tokyo isn't hospitable per se, but it's not the most welcoming places, least of all to a boy like me who grew up in such a secluded environment. I was afraid Tokyo would eat me up and spit me back out. I think my parents were afraid too. Mom used to call me every other day when I was first settling in. She has forever sent me bags of rice and locally produce permissions. Fearful I might be so overwhelmed by my new surroundings I would forget to buy food for myself. That would not be a problem for me because I like to eat. Because I am a fan. Though I was awkward and unsure in the beginning, I survived the hostile alien territory of the big city. I joined the photography club at the university. I made several friends. One of them was named Fire Ninja, who had turned to come out to be a ghoul, but he always liked me, so he never had offense.
Just repeatedly stabbed you.
But you would always make sure to heal me. Then of course we had our friend Vibrator, who would always penetrate people.
Heal? That's what we call it?
Yes, heal. My time in the...
I call it just leaving you to bleed.
But you always made sure you call a doctor. My time in the city wasn't as bleak or as scary as I feared it would be. In fact, I enjoyed it. 8 months later, and I managed to make it back to my hometown, and canvas bag lies on the ground at my feet. It's a small bag, with only a few sets of clothes, and a games console and my camera stashed away inside. I'm only going to be back home for a handful of days. I plan to stay for New Year's, of course, because it's a family celebration, and we, meaning me, my father, my mother, and my younger sister, always go to our local shrine together, but that's it. When the 3rd of January rolls around, I'll be on this own rickety train back home. I can't afford to miss the start of the new semester, not even a couple of days. Time, I have discovered, moves more quickly in the city than it does in the countryside. If you miss a single lecture, you'll be scrambling around for a week trying to recover the information that slipped through your fingers. But sometimes, it's too late. There's not enough time. Okay, this better not be where I get transformed to the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, because screw that. There's never enough time.
White rabbit.
I sigh as I stare out of the train's windows. It's very dark, but the stars are particularly bright tonight. I think I can spot whatever the hell that word is out of the corner of my eye. It's the 3rd brightest star in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, I have no idea what the hell that B word is. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. No. I know a lot about the stars. I know jack shit, so. My grandfather liked to lecture me about the night sky when I was little. I wasn't particularly interested. I only cared about my handheld. But his lessons must have stuck. Can I see any other constellations out on the train windows? It's hard to tell. My eyes, despite my brand new glasses, are unfocused. The snow doesn't help. Snowflakes fall slowly and late and hazily, soaring through the cool night sky like they have all the time in the world. Time. Okay, if I see time one more time, it's gonna be time to call Gregory Helms for his old theme song. And we got a comment. It's from Brian Weber saying, "What's up, Doug? Doing good. Just getting me another platinum. Reading, showing that I don't know big words, and all that." I yawn.
All the usual things.
Yep. By the way, don't forget, if you're going out on Black Friday, WWE 2K20 is on sale everywhere.
Gee, I remember.
Yeah. I yawn. Of course it wouldn't snow in Tokyo. That would cause too many problems. It could interfere with the bus routes and the train schedules. Schools would be shut down, business meetings cancelled, and everything would fall apart. So snow out here in the middle of nowhere because there's a stupid pink dog going booga booga booga. Because who is it going to inconvenience? The citizens of my tiny town. with its miserable section of shops and only one high school. That sounds like Bedford County, actually. Oh, God. Sounds like my old high school.
It's Kaneki.
Like anybody cares. 15,000 people is nothing compared to millions who reside in Tokyo. I can feel sleep creeping up on me. My arms and legs droop like unwanted plants. My head feels far too heavy for my neck, as though it's been stuffed full of newspapers. Are you sure you're not a piñata? With a soft yawn, my eyelids fall shut and my head leans back against my chair. Okay, he's either going to his hometown or he's watching WWE Survivor Series. Place your bets in the comment section. I think I'm dreaming. In my dreams, it snows. It always snows around me.
Aw, you son of a...
Though I missed my parents a good deal when I went away to Tokyo, I eventually learned how to live without them. I can even iron my own laundry now. It's nothing short of a miracle. I'm sorry. I knew how to wash my laundry when I was still in high school. My grandmother did not trust me to wash them. And I don't know too many people who iron nowadays. I've always been on the short side for my age. I blame my mother's gene pool with long, feminine fingers and soft round cheeks, but I'm still 19 years old.
Yay, Tsukiyama. Get to fight him.
I'll be 20 next year. I am an adult though. I don't particularly look like one, and we'll all have to grow up eventually. That is a lie. We never have to grow up. When my parents saw me off at the train station last spring, my heart full of dreams and my head full of nerves, my dad put one meaty paw on my shoulder and told me there was nothing to worry about. You're my son, he said. No matter what happens, you'll do just fine. I have faith in you.
You're a disappointment.
At the time, I appreciated his vote of confidence, particularly when I had so little confidence in myself. I like to believe I'm capable of being self-sufficient now, but I still think about my father's words from time to time. God, okay, call Gregory Helms. We need his theme song back from when he was heel. It's time. His serious tone was quite unusual for my dad, who, despite being tall and broad-shouldered like a cop from a film noir, is always cracking terrible jokes. Okay, so your dad is Barry Burden. That would be awesome. Who wouldn't want that? His sudden supportive attitude was certainly new. Whenever I watched television with my family on New Year's Eve, huddled together beneath the Cortsia like penguins, my dad would point out the male idols on the panel shows and say, "Look, you, I found the perfect job for you. Have you ever wanted to be a model?" Then he'd laugh and slap his knee, disrupting the top of the Costco so green tea spilled everywhere. I never imagined one day I'd miss my father, who was determined to poke fun at me at every given opportunity during my formative years, but I miss him more than I expected. As for my younger sister, however, that's what your sister looks like, okay. Well, this could be the first time I've ever seen something in a game that's supposed to have an anime feel to it. Finance, you know what that is?
Cool.
No, a female character does not have big boobs.
Joy?
I guess. Hey you, are you deaf? I asked you to pass the vinegar. I should do a female voice. I don't think I could ever miss her. Archie might be part of my family, but we never got it on, despite how similar we look. She, like me, inherited her looks from our mother. Unlike me, however, her female charms ain't a source of amusement and desire. Adigo is short and slender with a face shaped like an egg. She has clear skin, clear eyes, and the same long fingernails that I have. Though her nails are always filed and polished, painted to match her outfit for the day. She's a pretty girl, there's no doubt about it, but... I've asked you like 4 times! The vinegar! No! She's not exactly nice. In fact, nice is the last word I would use to describe her. I'm sorry, I was spacing out. I'm tired from my trip. You do look a little pale. Would you like me to run a bath for you, dear? It's fine, Mom. I can do it myself later. My mom's always liked cutting people. Maybe that's why Otigo grew up to be such a I should hope you can do it yourself. Being away from home for so long, a man's gotta learn someday. My dad laughs rankishly and slaps a hand on my shoulder. Oh dear, if you tried that, you should have some more green tea. It might wake you up after your long journey. Mom begins to refill my cup of green tea without waiting for my permission. She doesn't have to play the role of perfect hostess with me, but telling my mother that would be a fruitless effort. I've long suspected my mother has a unique form of OCD, namely, she just can't rest easy when there's food to serve and cups to fill. Maybe it's because she worked as a waitress in Wokio for a few years, or maybe it's because she missed having a family altogether like this. I guess she wants to pamper me as much as possible while she has the chance. There ain't many people as compassionate as my mother, apart from Miss Masse, perhaps, who used to babysit me and Okio when we were kids. Oh, please! Why, my mother's only too happy to attend to my needs, imagined or otherwise. Okio is less enthusiastic. You can't be that tired, you big baby. Tokyo's not that far away. It's 6 hours and my connecting train was half an hour late. Oh, poor you. Excuse me if I don't weep with sympathy. At least you get to live in the big city now. I'd kill to be in your position. Now, let's not talk about killing at the dinner table, dear.
Stop.
I'm sorry, this is making it more fun for me. Whatever.
This is cruel and unusual punishment. This is
Eyes. The motion is practically effective given the ring of black eyeliner that frames her deep brown iris. Maybe I should try to diffuse the tension. The four of us might be a family, a model example of a nuclear unit, but I have been away for almost a year. It's only natural a reunion would be a little awkward. You can't expect everything to revert back to the way it used to be over a single meal. You don't need to get jealous, Ochio. Don't call me that. Oops. I forgot how much Okio hates it when people use her real name. How could I forget? She only chewed my head off about it 1,000,001 times ever since she turned 13, started reading fashion magazines and learned to be self-conscious. Okio never used to be this much of a brat when she was a kid. Puberty, beyond filling out her figure, did something rather frightening to my little sister. She might have blossomed on the outside like a beautiful flower, but her personality has withered on the vein. I'm sorry, Otomo. Her family name is Satuo. Ochio prefers to go by a diminutive of that rather than her given name. Well, I can't exactly blame her. Ochio inherited her name from her maternal grandmother, but it's a pretty hefty burden to place on a fashion-conscious girl like my younger sister. While Ochio is ridden with perfectly inconsistent characters, those for sound and girl, respectively, is more common used to mean man. Akio says she leaves home and goes to university. She's going to get her name changed legally. Mom tried to talk her out of it, but Okio is as stubborn as a goat and nothing can change her mind. That's why it's impossible to argue with her about anything. Anyway, Tokyo is not all it's cracked up to be, you know. Oh, really? Really, it's so big and there's so many people. It can be pretty noisy at times. And the fact that...
And ghouls.
And ghouls, and the fact of the way you... Depending how you show up their dress, you will regret it. So, you trying to show off now? No, Oh, it must be so hard for poor little you having to go all the way to the big bad city where I'm stuck here in this dump with nothing to do for another 2 years. This town isn't so very bad, is it, Otomo? You don't want to grow up too soon. Enjoy your childhood. My nose itches. I'm not a child. I just turned 17, Dad. Nonsense. You still look like a little girl to me. Please, you say that even if I was old as Grandma. That's because no matter how old you get, you'll always be my darling little girl. Oh, there's your sweet moment of the video so far.
No,
Dad,
means no.
I said, okay, then that part it doesn't mean. No, it's the dad and daughter. Dad reaches over and ruffles the top of Uchio's immaculate styled hair.
No.
Well, this is we're Tokyo, not Alabama. Ugh.
You act like that's better.
Uchio pulls her face and shuffles away, the legs of her chair scraping across the floor. How many times have I told you not to do that, Dad? You're going to ruin my hair. Dad just laughs.
No.
Dad laughs a lot. I yawn.
Because he knows he can get away with it.
I yawn. Fatigued but not fatigued enough to forget to press a hand against my mouth. I've noticed how to give my family an eyeful of half I can't pronounce that word. Not only on my first day back home. So Octico. So Octico, I mean Octo, you wanted the vinegar? That's what, like I said like an hour ago. She obviously didn't make this request an hour ago, but I don't point that out. Getting into an argument about circumstances would be incredibly childish and petty, and I am an adult now. Here. I slide the vinegar over to Ottigo. As expected, she doesn't thank me. I don't know why you couldn't have gotten it yourself. Oh, that's man voice. I don't know why you couldn't have gotten it yourself. And reach all the way across the table? Ottigo raises an eyebrow. She doesn't say, what are you, stupid? But that's clearly the message she's trying to imply. You are closer to it than me, and anyway, you're supposed to be the man. Aren't you meant to look out for your little sister? I didn't know Becky Lynch had a little sister. Sorry, I didn't think. No, well, you never do.
Go to hell.
I guess some things don't change. It's rare I agree with my sister, but she might be right. It's been many months since I saw her last, but she's still a huge brat.
Of course she is.
I just imagine this is what Fine Ninja's family's going to be like when Fine Ninja moves out, and then he comes back. So, honey, we're all curious. What's it like in the big city? You haven't been there for you yet, but you already look different.
Because of something that never comes out.
Do you really think so? Do you really think so?
Casual thing and I'm going because I forgot your guts.
That's right. You got new glasses, haven't you? I think you've gotten taller. I looked at Mom hopefully. I look at Mom hopefully, perhaps a bit too hopefully, and exclaim, "Huh?"
Go to hell.
Huh? Really? In your dreams.
Yeah, go to hell.
Thanks for bringing me back down to earth with a bump, Ortio. So, dear brother.
I'll cut your cuts later.
The beans. What's it like in the big city? I'm dying to know. Please enlighten us. Please enlighten us, little people. Well,
20 years of dealing with this, I'm really on your tongue.
Well, there's so much. I'm not sure where to begin. I don't really want to begin either. Not with Ortio glaring at me. Her lips pushed like she's sucking on a bitter melon. I'm too tired for this. That train ride really took it out of me. I must be getting old. A clear stream of water cascades from the tap and drums against the stainless steel basin of the kitchen sink. Glossy soap bubbles dance in the air, shining with rainbows. Tonight's dinner was a veritable feast, painstaking created for the sake of replenishing your energy after that awful train journey.